beautiful souls. Welcome into a daily read. We're going to talk about Wednesday. I really liked the simplistic approach to yesterday's daily read for Tuesday with one oracle and one tarot card pre-pulled. So I'm going with that method and the same decks once again. But yeah, we're beginning with the pre-pulled cards of Wonders as well as the Fool card. So this Wednesday feels to be a time period where the wonders of the universe are coming to mind and taking a focus. The mystery of your individual path may as well take a focus, while they're saying get out there and live with the Fool card. Get out and discover bits and pieces of information that feel to be unexpected by coming from spirit and the universe. It does feel like a time period where you're pondering upon a lot. You're thinking maybe a little bit too much at certain points, but there's key points where you're thinking about this and that, maybe from the recent past selectively, feeling very spiritually connected and guided, but you're also thinking about the potentials of your path moving forward. And maybe even when it comes to your current day reality, breaking things down. There's something about crystals, or one in particular, but as well, I find the day does hold and create certain levels of magic where maybe you've been feeling life is a little lackluster, a bit blah, not as lively as you'd like. There does seem to be some sort of peace and tranquility in the air, maybe a spilling over of that very simplistic, easygoing, easy peasy kind of energy from Tuesday's energy. But it does feel like even in the midst of this bit of peace and tranquility, maybe you get a bit of ease in the air and whatnot, you're feeling more lively, more motivated, maybe a bit more energetic, I do feel as if there's at least one point, if not a couple, where you just gotta, take a deep breath. And I feel that could even help you, naturally reground, rebalance, catch your breath. But it could even push you to disconnect from what's at hand for a brief hot second, and that can really do you justice in regards to whatever that ends up being for you. And so it feels like a day where Spirit's saying there's going to be, for a lot, of prime opportunity or two to go out and explore, to go on an adventure, to create little bits and pieces of experiences building up to one bigger experience, if you will. And so it feels like a time where you're being reminded as well, we're still in the midst of Mercury retrograde. Now, the struggling of saying that wasn't just me being messed with spiritually and struggling due to energy and whatnot. It was a little bit, but it does feel like as well, due to the retrograde, due to maybe, kind of moving slow and, you feel like you can't rush. That's literally what Mercury retrograde is all about, or at least part of which. You may stumble upon your words at certain points. You may find that something's taking a little bit longer than you'd like or expected. Say, for example, I'm getting somebody specifically is uploading or waiting for something to process or happen online. But that's just an example. But it could as well be, you're maybe a little bit, it's like you're not impatient, but you are a little bit, if that makes sense. Or there's just a little bit of impatience in regards to waiting for that red light to change, or to cross the street, or for somebody to do something, or for something to happen for you otherwise. Anyways, so they're just saying have patience. But it feels like, oh yeah, look at this. A commonality we're noticing in the two imageries. I was being drawn to this when I said crystals earlier, if you can notice that detail on the Fool card. And then obviously the main part of this imagery is a crystal, okay? And so I'm feeling there's something rare about you as well, and that's taking a huge highlight throughout this day, because they're making me think about, say, you stumble upon a very rare crystal, a very rare stone of some sort, and naturally that's going to be something that holds great worth and value to many people, and then naturally one person or institution is going to end up acquiring that, right? And It just feels like Spirit saying you hold great value and worth more than ever, which will increase moving forward because of your rarity, because you're special and you benefit others, just like a crystal naturally with its properties benefits people, right? I'm hearing you benefit people's energy and people's minds and awareness. But I also feel like you have at least a little bit of an ability to heal others. Whether you're somebody like myself to be considered as a healer with healing energy, there's just something about you that heals other people, whether it's you have the right thing to say at the right time, you're just comfort for other people, you are able to, okay, maybe your hugging ability, the way you give good hugs, there's just something about you, all right? It could be even what you create and develop, and it doesn't have to be limited to just one of those. Look up the spiritual meaning of a fox. There's something about this for you in regards to what you're thinking about for the near future, but also when you're thinking about something new for the future, please remember that what is at hand, even with its imperfections, holds great value for you. It is more purposeful than you're remembering at times, okay? But I also feel like there's a bit of a light and feather kind of energy about you, about your energy, the way you're carrying yourself, accomplishing, because it does seem like this Wednesday you're lighter than you were, even in comparison to this, very simplistic Tuesday that we talked about in the last daily read. So if you didn't hop over and watch that reading, please make sure you do so. But I do sense that Spirit's saying we have something to do with this, you know what I mean? Because everybody's spiritually connected, whether they want to admit that, whether they feel they are or not. Obviously some more than others. I'm at the top of that list as far as how connected you can be. But anyways, the point is Spirit can gift you a feeling of heaviness, a feeling of lightness, a magical feeling, even a confused feeling, you name it. So the list can go on of the potentials, but in this case they're giving you this light and I want to say a bit of a magical feeling as well. It's almost as if they just kind of showed me around me, for example, this kind of imagery where it's almost like magic specks, almost like, they could be orbs, stars, if you will, little glimmers, and they're saying this is to be, in a sense, representing those with you throughout this period, basically spiritual entities, people, souls that are passed over who choose to stick with you, protect you, and guide you. Absolutely beautiful. Let's keep going with the messages, just checking out the timestamp. There's also a feeling of you noticing how your passion at this time is not overwhelming. It's not too much when it comes to other people and how they perceive you, digest what you're saying, what you're putting out there. But with the number 0 here at the top of the Fool card, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a time period for you where you're thinking about beginning again. And we did speak upon that to an extent already, but it feels like you have it better than you had it, at certain points or in general, rewinding back, and you're grateful for that. But Spirit's saying there's also certain levels of productivity wrapped up into purposefulness, wrapped up into you thinking about at certain points what lies ahead. This may push you to do better with the managing of your money, because it may be a financial investment in the future, or you may need some kind of cushion, stability of some sort to fall back on to make a change in the future that may not be a financial investment. It may be more in regards to you needing to actually put an effort towards dabbling in the potential options to date, or even looking at new places to reside, you name it. So I feel like Spirit's saying don't overdo it with this, of course, and we may have to stop you and kind of pull you back before you cross that thin line. But there's just something about you thinking about beginning again that holds true purpose, all right? It also feels to be a day where there's mystery in the air. I think we kind of spoke upon that in the beginning with the Wonders card, but you really feel okay with it. It's almost as if it's adding to the energy of this day. It's adding to your vibe. And because it feels like your mystery as a soul and how people see you in this light, perceive you, wonder, question, are intrigued, that's somehow intertwined with the mystery in the air otherwise throughout this period. Does that make sense? Now, There's also a focus on your health. You're needing to make sure that you're feeling healthy. If you're not when you wake up to begin this day or even soon after, then you're needing to notice and remember, what do I have to do? What have I done in the past that leaves me feeling healthier, right? And maybe reflect a little bit in regards to the previous day or two. What did I do too much or too little of? Where could I adjust throughout this day and tomorrow and so on to feel healthier? And I feel Spirit saying part of it is you need to be working out quite consistently. You need to make sure that there's quality consumption, everything in moderation, or just avoiding the unhealthy temptations. It all sounds like common sense, but Spirit is very clearly expressing this for the majority of which drawn to this reading for, some reason or two. Anyways, but nature is also a part of this period where, as I'm being drawn to the greenery that she's standing on, as well as the mountaintops in the background, it just feels like you're looking to the horizon, to the distance, and more so than ever expecting the best, because there's just this hope in the air throughout this day that feels, very much a part of the magic that you're feeling, that you're giving off, that other people are even experiencing. There's a glimmer, a little bit more than a glimmer of hope in your eyes, all right? And it feels like as well, you're going to be feeling like your third eye is more than open, and so therefore you're seeing things and you're understanding things a hell of a lot easier, more clearly, all right? The dots are also connecting for you in certain ways, where that's stemming from partially your intuition, your spirituality, but your third eye being very wide open at this point. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling certain aha moments coming to be. You may as well be thinking back to when you experienced certain levels of deja vu, even if it wasn't deja vu. I don't know why I'm getting that. But let's wrap up this reading by saying the number 12. 12 is significant. Look up the angel number meaning. This is meant to be a magical light and feather kind of day for you, where there are wonders to be thought about, questioned, even to be discovered. It's a day where you're meant to be experiencing life a lot differently, all right? I'm getting the wording a lot better than you recently have been, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. I will see you in your next daily read. Take care.